distant land. For 3 damn days, I played with the damn. Yeah, I had the devil on my shoulder, whispering lies. Now I'm older, I was mixed up, but it feels like a new day is coming. I start all over, I start all over, a new day, a new day.
Yeah.
Deep blue sea and swam as fast as my broken heart could carry me. Yeah, there was a storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi everybody, happy Aloha Friday! Woohoo! I love this song. Thank you for being on Friday. Here we go.
Have you ever seen the people with so much hospitality? People so very, very peaceful, filled with love and unity. Ooh, I have found these people living right under my own roof. Ooh, with wings they mount up like eagles, with so much aloha, so much truth. And why don't they lie? And why don't they cry? I now know why they can see.
Hi you guys. Hey, thanks for being on. Here we go.
And why don't they lie? And why don't they cry?
Happy Aloha Friday.
Hano hano haiku kei ke aku hiipoli ae na palihaui. Hano hano haiku kei ke aku hiipoli ae na palihauli uli. Uli aku nanaya ke ahia ka hoi leia nai ka ohu kaui ka piko. Hi o mai la.
Hi Pussycat, how you? Alcian, thanks for being on. Debbie, hello. Carl, Gail, Melia. Thanks for being here. Tiffy Harper, how you doing? Mahalo. Alden Tanaka is on. Haina. Okay. Was supposed to be something else to start, and it's not going. And it's right now doing the... Oh, there we go. Now will it play? Yes, yay!
As parents, it's our responsibility to protect our children from the dangers they face in everyday life. Today, there's an invisible danger. COVID-19 is in our lives, and it poses a grave threat to our children. More children are getting sick every day. I know. My daughter caught COVID, and it was scary. Your child's life is precious. Don't wait. Vaccinate.
All right, here we go. On this Aloha Friday, coming up on the show, we're going to talk to Kekepania Vasquez-Tamaliʻi. She is involved with the latest movie in the great movie line of the one that has Keanu Reeves in it. We'll talk about it anyway, coming up here on the show this afternoon. Also, comedian who was performed last night on the island of Maui, Nikki Glaser. She's going to be on the show. She's going to be, actually, she's on the island of Maui, but making that transition to Honolulu. They are playing coming up tonight. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve from Honolulu, Hawaii. Here we go. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Hawaiian Standard Time. We're going to take some looks outside that are not only here, but elsewhere as well. The crew is off today, but I think we might have a couple of people jumping in to moderate. So I'm not sure. We will see here in a couple of moments. Hi, Jen. How are you? Happy New Year's Eve to you, too. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you and I got to do a lot of work here for the men's volleyball team coming up. We got fundraiser coming up soon, yeah? We'll talk about that coming up in just a little while. Hope you're having a good New Year's Eve. It's been kind of a crazy week on all kinds of fronts, including COVID. We'll talk about that because that's kind of affecting some of our entertainment news as we speak. I was thinking of Matrix. I just couldn't get the name in my head. Matrix Resurrections. That's the latest Keanu Reeves movie out. And let's see. And we have one young lady who is on that, Kekepania, and we'll talk with her coming up here on the show. Thanks for being here, everybody, especially on a New Year's Eve. I was thinking it was just going to be like me. Maybe my mom might pop by. Some of my cousins might pop by. But thank you all for tuning in and being here on a New Year's Eve. It's nice that we can be together on days like this. Happy New Year from Germany. It's already 2022 here since 2 hours. Thank you so much, Heidi. Nice to have you on. Photo Luke, look who's here. Oh, boy. And your text is really big, so we'll have to bring that down here just so everybody can see it and everybody can read it. Kathy, hi. Yeah, crew is... they are hibernating, and they're taking some well-deserved leave. So that's really nice that they are having some time off. They may pop in on the show, though. Judy is here, Butterfield. Thank you very much. We mentioned Jen a little bit earlier. Thank you, and Happy New Year's Eve to you. Laura, did I see you in pictures in Waikiki? I think I did. I think I saw you on Facebook. There's a couple of people who I saw, and they have Facebook pictures. I was following you and looking, and that's awesome. Alden, thanks for being here. First in is Teve Harper. Did I pronounce the first name correctly? Thanks for being here. Awesome. Melia Lanai here. Gail, I know, really? We need a healthy new year for everybody, right? Thank you so much. And Carl is in my hometown right now. Just a reminder, if you are on the YouTube side, you can go ahead and subscribe and go ahead and hit the buttons below. If you are over on the Facebook side, please share. That helps us out so much. We appreciate that. Let's go get that live look outside before we do anything else. Courtesy of EarthCam TV, we've got there rotating the cameras. We were on New York, and we were watching New York just to see what was happening. This is Roswell, New Mexico. We also have, this is, yes, Ninth Island. You know, I got to show that. That's Fremont Street in Las Vegas, where it's 55 degrees outside. Outside here, it's 74 rain showers. I'm talking rain. That's what we've got. That is a video, but it is stuck. No, there it is. Okay, so that's live. We've got surfers out in the water. We've got some waves out there. But once again, look at it's clouds, it's showers. We had a flash flood warning last night. Some areas are already soaked with rain, not only on the south-facing shore, but this is the north shore. Not necessarily rain showers, but it's not exactly blue skies. There's some bluish out there if you're looking towards the island of Kauai. But, yeah, at least the waters are not that bad. So that's our live look outside here on this Aloha Friday. Hopefully I'll get that New York camera up because I'd love to be able to see that New York camera here in a little bit. This was tough news. There's a lot of us, especially where I work at Hawaii News Now, that are just fans of Betty White. She was just a couple of weeks away from her 100th birthday, and already the celebration was starting up. She passed away at the age of 99. Whether you're a Golden Girls fan, Snickers commercials, Mary Tyler Moore back in the day, you couldn't help but smile every time she was on TV. She was like everyone's favorite auntie. There was supposed to be a big celebration and birthday party, and there's going to be a film released. That film will be screened. They will go on and go ahead with that. We are told. If you don't want to wait until January 17th to get your Betty White fix, go on to Netflix. They've got a great documentary that is on there. Let's talk about the boat ride Ohana. This is another national story where we find out there's Hawaii connections. The fires in Colorado have been devastating. 105 mile per hour plus winds, over 500 homes destroyed, and a whole lot of people displaced. There is a GoFundMe page for the family of Heidi Illustri Boatwright. Heidi, former University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine volleyball player. You see her there in the picture, kind of right behind one of her keiki, right alongside her husband. Now, according to Heather, that's Heidi's sister, their home in Superior, Colorado was destroyed, but they made it out just barely with the clothes on their back, and that's about it. There is a GoFundMe page. We will put that if we're not able to do it during the show because it's just me today. Then I'll put them on just after the show, so that way, if you're able to help them out, we'll put that on there. They've already gotten a bunch of people that have gone onto the GoFundMe page to help them. And exactly, Judy, prayers to Colorado. They have it tough out there right now. These guys are doing well. We're talking about Spider-Man, Hawaii connection in here. Of course, you're talking about Damien Memorial School graduate Jacob Batalon, who is in the motion picture. He lost like about 100 pounds to be, not to be in his role, but for his role in this movie. So they continue to dominate at the box office. It just passed yesterday, Lion King on the list of highest grossing movies at the domestic box office. 550, a whole lot of money. 557 point change during its first 2 weeks in its release. It would have been higher, actually, if it weren't for Christmas Eve, because traditionally, like all of the movies, on Christmas Eve, why do the movie amounts go down? Because everybody's at home spending time with their families, which is a good thing. But congratulations to the cast and crew and Jacob, our Hawaii connection into that. It will continue to break numbers here coming up in the next couple of weeks. Ryan Hiroka from Hawaii Island is a singer, songwriter, Hawaii recording artist. He just finished and released a song that's from Brother Walter featuring Ryan. Ryan did a lot of the work on this, and as a matter of fact, we are able to play some of it for you. Take a listen.
Oh, now, we not far yet. Keala told you, we miss you, my brother. The only thing in life that's guaranteed is one day when we don't stay, we'll be just a memory. Remember the good times, remember the hard times too. Life is what you make it. Remember that I love you. Don't be afraid to say it to the ones that you love. I love you.
Okay, there you go. That's a song from Brother Walter. Of course, Brother Walter and Island Afternoon back in the day in the 1990s. Boy, did they rule with a whole bunch of hits. So that is the latest music from Hawaii Island. Mahalo to Ryan. Congratulations to you. And
You never know.
much continued success on that release as it goes out. Hey, and we're hoping to talk to Ryan here in the next couple of weeks, see what other stuff he's got brewing in his recording studio. Due to the pandemic, there's been a lot of changes in this last week, and there'll probably be a bunch more as we go through this next or these first weeks of January. Coming up, Nikki Glaser is with us. She is part of Bill Maher, right there, 10th anniversary New Year's Eve show. Last night he was at the MAC. Tonight he is at Blaisdell Concert Hall. I have to tell you that on this show, I haven't seen them take ownership of COVID like this show. Sorry, I should have prefaced that by saying this portion is my opinion. From what I've seen, Rick Bartolini is the promoter, and they have come out swinging, and they're saying, "Hey, we want you to come. We want you to enjoy the show. But if you are not adhering to COVID protocols, if you're not wearing your mask, and be it that there's no food, there's no drink that is being sold, so there's no reason to take the mask down. If you don't have your mask on, they will escort you out. You will not get a refund." And also, Bill Maher also did the rounds, making sure he let everybody know. He has told the promoter, and they are working together in concert with everybody else, the venue and et cetera, to make sure that everybody knows, we want you to come. We want you to have fun. We want you to be safe. So if you take it into the frame mind of local thinking, Hawaii thinking, okay, so brother's saying, you know what, come to my show. It's a kako thing. We all got to do this. We'll all be in it together. Awesome. So we'll talk about that coming up in a couple of moments. As we mentioned, moments away from an interview that I had yesterday with Nikki Glaser, a comedian, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first of all, what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a young lady who I got the chance to talk to in the Hawaii News Now Digital Center. Was there talking to Kekepania Vasquez-Tamaliʻi about the special work that she does, and she's working with the stars. You have been involved with motion picture, and the latest one has been Matrix 4, correct?
Yes, Matrix Resurrections.
And you've already done work on that, but at the time of this taping, you're getting prepared to go, and you've been rehired. Kind of explain why.
I'm being rehired because I have a department head, Flora Moody from the UK. My friend from San Francisco, she hired me to become their third hairstylist, and come about, they actually had me do Trinity, which is under the direction of my department head. What kind of cut, what kind of hairstyle. I did the cuts and color on set with Trinity. The blue-haired girl that you see is Jessica Henwick, which is one of our main characters. I can't really talk about what she does.
Right.
And then just so forth, Mr. Smith, the young Morpheus, and the list goes on and on as we go down the line. But it's when I'm touching people with that set, I always think about I want to come back home. I want to come back to Hawaii and just represent our people. You know, the creativiness and just everything about here and at home. But it's very creative. It's never been seen before. The color is like a very vibrant blue, which actually that derived. I mean, it's part of the story, but I really wanted to incorporate like the HPD blue, because it's like a family in HPD here, and I just wanted to like represent that blue, that color. But it's actually part of the story. But I was like, as a colorist, I was trying to go towards that blue, rich color.
That's awesome. You know, a lot of times we think that makeup and hair people, you just sit in the chair and that's it.
Yes.
But you have to get it approved. You
Yes.
also engage directors and producers in seeing what you see.
Yes.
Correct? Talk about that
Yes.
process for a little bit.
Lana Wachowski is the director of Matrix, and was the director and writer of the previous Matrix successful films. She would have to see every single, like, what's your ideas? We had to, my department head and Key and myself, we had to submit ideas to her. And then while we were executing it, she was right there seeing, like, okay, what was the reason of this and that? Each little strand, each little color. Like, for instance, on Trinity, her hair was so black that we had to break that black out of her hair and then add little subtle highlights in her hair. So when she's jumping off the building with Keanu, you could see the highlights, and it's like, oh, her, the essence of coming back alive, or I can't tell the story.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
So much of you growing up and who you are is inserted into your work.
Yes, most definitely. I think about it every day. I think about when I look at the tattoos, when I'm doing their hair, I think about home every day, and like one day I'm like, this is my goal, is to win an Emmy for Hawaii, is what I always say to myself. Like, I'm going to win an Emmy for those kids, Polynesian kids from all over here in Hawaii. And just one day, I'm just striving for that.
Okay. If somebody's watching this and somebody is all of a sudden massively interested in what you do you have first a suggestion for them?
Never stop. Even though there's in my family, no one really thought you could do hair and makeup. For a person that, any kid or even an older person like myself, I started at 38 going into beauty school. It's never too late, is what I want to give. Never too late to follow your dreams. Never too late to start and then finish, or keep striving for the best. Preserve throughout your whole belief that you'll make it.
Okay. What do you want to say to all of these stars and all of these people who have sat in your chair that are on the big screen? What do you want to say to them?
Thank you so much for having me to do your hair, and to believe in me, and to just talk story about Hawaii, and to love about our people and visit our state,
Finally, how can people follow you? Because I'm imagining they'll hear this, they'll see this, they'll want to know more about you, the person. How do they connect with you?
Instagram, it's KK Vasquez. I think it was a short version for easier for people to contact me with. They could do through emails, and I'm always interactive with people through Instagram. And from Magnum PI to Matrix fans, I'm always responding all the time.
Thanks for talking story with us.
No, thank you so much for your time.
Keke Vasquez, once again, she is moving, shaking, doing, and she is going to the premiere and going to be there for, that's going to be...
Saturday? 18th, yes.
18th?
At the San Francisco Theater, Castro Theater.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right, so getting a chance to talk story with her here on this Aloha Friday. That was once again an interview that we did earlier over in the Hawaii News Now Digital Center. And so she is Matrix 4, but she's also, once again, the crew of Magnum PI. And so we're looking at her to do a lot more work, and we can't see more of what she has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Nikki Glaser, yay!
Oh, thank you. Please. I deserve that. Thank you.
How are you?
I am in Hawaii, so great. Couldn't be better.
Very good. There's tons of people that can't wait to see you, that can't wait to hear you, that can't wait to hear your comedy. But this past year, just real quickly, it's been busy for you. You've been, again, unscripted host. The podcast has been going crazy. Tell me about the last year.
The last year has been incredible, actually. I moved to St. Louis, which I was living there in March 2020 when, that whole thing happened. I moved back in with my parents as a 35-year-old woman, and in St. Louis, Missouri. I was living in New York and LA before that. And I just wanted to be with my mom and dad during that time, and I was in between apartments. So I would go, oh, I'll just go to St. Louis and stay with them until this thing blows over. And then 10 months later, I was still there, and I go, this isn't a good look, because people have a lot of questions when you're living with your parents. They go, what, you're 35, you're successful, you have money. Why are you living with your parents? And so I got rid of that therapist because I go, I don't really want to look into that. And I will get my own apartment. Point taken. So I just stayed in St. Louis because I gotta be honest, I loved being away from New York and LA. Like I loved feeling like there weren't these expectations constantly put on me of go, 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 working equals, worth. And so now I just go to the coast to do jobs, and I stay in St. Louis, and I kind of avoid all of that pressure. And it's just a slower, more relaxed life. And I get that feeling, and I want to get even more away from it. So I'm looking at property while I'm here because this sounds pretty damn nice.
Yeah, if you wanted to get away from it, this is the place to be.
Right?
So what can people expect coming up tonight and tomorrow night for you?
Tonight and tomorrow night is going to be, I can't wait to perform alongside Bill Maher. I mean, I don't know that we'll be on stage together at any point, but I would love to start working on our duo act to take out and on the road, because he's just such a joy to be around, and we become really quick, fast friends. I mean, I knew him when he originally asked me to go on the show in 2019. I said yes immediately. I didn't even know he was a fan of mine. I didn't even know that Bill Maher knew who I was. I was a huge fan of his. And so I was so honored. And then 2020 got canceled, 2019. The year everything got canceled.
Right.
And then he pushed it to this year. And in 2020, I was able to do his show a couple times, once via Zoom, real time, and then real time with Bill Maher. And then again, this past summer in 2021, I got to do it. And we just, the only time I talked to him was just in the interview, and we had a great time, but you never know, like, is that going to translate? But it did. And he's just amazing and so nice. And you want to go see comedians when they're having a good time. I got to be honest with you. So often comedians are miserable. They're traveling alone. They're just angry, and they come out on stage and it's just all an act. They go on autopilot and they tell their jokes. And there's a sense of it when you're an audience member that you don't even, it's subliminal though, but you pick up on they're miserable. Me and Bill Maher, we're very, very happy right now. And so this is going to be a show filled with joy, and just like, we're honestly going to be having fun up there. And so this is just going to be a different kind of show than anyone that I'm used to doing. A one where we're all kind of happy, which I don't know if that makes for a good comedy show, but I think it might.
Okay, so you had a great trip over. You were on his private jet, so you didn't have to sit with people that were trying to get out of the emergency exits in mid-flight.
I mean, I honestly tried to get out of the emergency exit accidentally because I thought this jet was so nice that Bill chartered for us that the bathroom, I thought it was so big. I was like, no plane bathroom is this big. I thought it was a lounge room or something. So I tried to open this other door within the lounge room that ended up being like an emergency exit that I was trying to get into, thinking it was the bathroom. And then the wind started getting like it started making weird noises. And I was like, I should just go ask. And so I went back in and I go, where's the bathroom? They're like, you're in it. I'm like, it's huge. And so that was me yesterday. I was one of those passengers, but I've traveled so much commercially this year. I did 40 cities, or 40 shows in like 30 plus cities. And it was wild what you would see on the plane. I would always just get out my camera and just start filming the woman that's just about to lose her mind, screaming at her kids, now screaming at the flight attendant, cussing out the flight attendant, now apologizing for cussing out the flight attendant, now the pilot's being involved, now the cops are here. There's always someone that's being a little ornery and just can't help themselves. There's always a guy at the gate that has his mask down here, just waiting for someone to tell him to put it up over his nose, and wearing a shirt that says like, I lubricate my AR-15 with liberal tears. And he has to sit like this just so people can read it. And he's pulling it down like, do you read this? And I'm always the one to go, hey, sir, can you pull it up, please? And he goes, I don't have to do it. Do you work here? And I go, it's not even about COVID. It's just, can you cover more of your face? You're not attractive. And you should take advantage of being able to cover your face. COVID's the best thing that ever happened to your face.
Nikki, what is the one thing you are looking forward to doing while you are here in Hawaii?
Oh, I'm going whale watching, and that is my I've loved whales my whole entire life, and it's been something that I've always put off doing because I just there's certain things you do in life where after you do them, you go, well, now I can die. Well, this isn't. That was the reason to live, and seeing whales is one of my reasons to live, and I'm a little scared to scratch it off because I'm like, what else will there be? But I still haven't, I still haven't become friends with Taylor Swift or had a romance with Dave Matthews. But he's married, so that's probably never going to happen. So I can always keep living. But
All right.
yeah, there's seeing whales tomorrow. That'll be it.
Make sure if you don't see Nikki Glaser on the boat next to you looking at whales, you'll find her. That's going to be tonight at the Mac, tomorrow at Blaisdell. Nikki, Happy New Year.
You too. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys very much.
Nikki is indeed a crack up. She is hilarious. Changing cameras. I forgot about that. And C. Honda wrote, you've seen Nikki on MTV with Sarah from years ago. She's a crack up. She is absolutely awesome. So Nikki, in the time that we did that interview, once again, she is at Blaisdell Concert Hall tonight, Bill Maherʻs New Year's Eve. So if you have the chance, or if you don't have tickets, and if there are tickets left, I don't know if there are, but you can go ahead and check it out. And she is here tonight, and she's going to spend some time in paradise. All right, so here we go. New Year's Eve. You know what? Actually, there's been before we get into news, I want to get back into the gallery because there's been some comments. I want to go backwards for a couple of moments and see. There's some comments. She is so impressive. Yes. Carly, there you are. I saw Carly's message here, and Carly, I think it was your picture that I saw. You're down in Waikiki, am I correct? So I thought I saw a picture of Carly down there on Facebook. So yay! And we'll get to more of the comments. Keep them coming. If you're not here in Hawaii, where are you right now? We'd like to know. Or even if you are, like Mila Ayala, she's over in Kapolei. Thanks very much for being with us. Oh, real quickly, sometimes we're showing some of the live shots from New York when we do get them. Let me see if I can bring that up. Hi, that's my other camera. Let's go ahead and bring this in. We'll just, boom. That's New York City. That's the Empire State Building. That's a live video right now. So they are the next ones to get midnight and New Year's, the new year. New Year's in between England and us right now. It's in the middle of the Atlantic. It's not going to be midnight until, 7 p.m. our time? So, 3 or 4 more hours to go. Okay, so where are we? Let's go ahead and get into the event news. So, the Waikiki Fireworks Show will go on as scheduled this evening. Of course, Mayor's office is hoping that everybody has their masks on, is distancing themselves. The mayor here has kind of taken this not attitude. He's taken on this position of we're not going to take down. We see the numbers building, but the hospitalizations are not building as fast as, of course, the cases. So what we are going to rely on is we're wanting people and the businesses to do the right thing rather than government having to regulate because, there was the pushback on that, right? So, thank you, Pussycat. I know, only 8:30 EST. So they have the fireworks. They're going to go on with that, and they're just hoping that everybody distances and wears their masks and does it right. So we're hopeful that they will do that too. So go out, enjoy, and take your mask with you. By the way, if you are going to do that, Hawaii Public Radio, make sure you're listening to them because that is where the official music is for the fireworks display. There has been some movement on some of the shows. So let's take Hawaii Theater, for instance. There was supposed to be Tom Segura's show. That's been pushed back to December of next year. Ron Artis was supposed to play tomorrow, but now he is rescheduled for April. And Namaka Upu'uvai Aloha was supposed to be early January. They're now looking at later January. I think actually they were supposed to be this week or so. Blue Note Hawaii, let's talk about them for a couple of moments. They were supposed to have the green there, but some of the members got COVID, so they have pushed their performances back to March 3rd through 7th. And so hold on to your December, January tickets if you have them, because they'll be good when we get up to March. Hi, Vicky. How are you? How is your family? Please tell them all I said hello, and I miss you a lot. Just to let you know. Mountain Apple, thank you very much. 7:30 in Texas. It is 5:30 PST in Washington. Okay. They are still showing New York City over there, Empire State Building. We'll get back to that coming up in a couple of moments. Blue Note Hawaii, that takes care of that. No University of Hawaii men's basketball. They, like the football team, have canceled. The football team pulled out of the Hawaii Bowl. And said they could not participate. And then men's basketball, and then some of the other teams that they're playing. It's just not only men's basketball, Hawaii. Other teams, too, have not been able to travel here because they've had COVID within their bubble. So, with that, there was no game yesterday. There's no game tomorrow, but we're hopeful that the next games will be on schedule, and our fingers are crossed there. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Oh, Sherry, thank you very, very much. And I love you being here. Yeah, so the reason that we do this show is for those that are far away that may not be here, this gives them a little bit of knowledge of what's happening here at home. And then you got some people that are just doing amazing things in motion picture like Keke, or you've got comedians that are coming here to entertain. And yeah, like somebody said in the comments, comedy, we need it so much. That laughter makes it so good. Nani, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that very much. So, no University of Hawaii men's basketball coming up this weekend. That is kind of, we had thought we were going to have a shortened show, but there was so much stuff that we decided, you know what? We probably should do our regular show. Coming up next week, we have got a full slate for you. As a matter of fact, let me kind of give you a preview. I'll tell you who's coming up on next week's show. There is going to be the show Hoku Nights, which is going to be on K5 television. And so their guests will be on my show before the show airs. That's Mike Ka'ava, Nahoa, and Keilana. So that's coming up next weekend. Lily Meola has brand new music out. We'll talk story with her. Where does her music come from? And Brandy Chun is an award-winning choreographer, dancer extraordinary. Super awesome dancer. But now she's doing more choreography and teaching. So we're going to talk story with her as well. Guy, how are you? Happy New Year, sir. I got to say hello to the crew. Guy is usually here in studio. He's usually sitting next to me. He's helping to produce as we go through the day. And Melia, I love you. So they are taking some much-needed holiday time off because they work so hard. So we want to say hello to the crew that are getting to enjoy from home. And yeah, Vodolu Kauai also says hello. Nothing better than Mike Ka'ava. You know, Hawaiian Boy, Sherry, is just phenomenal. If you get a chance to see him at Slacky Guitar festivals and performances, brother gives all. He's absolutely awesome. Oh, Pussycat, I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see here. We're almost through the show. Did I miss anybody in the Melia, thank you. So, yeah, yay! And one of these days, I will go over to the island of Lanai and touch the Aina there. It's been so long since I've been there. It just, Melia and I go back to working together quite a ways. And so that's some of the precious family connections that we have with the island of Lanai. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Kathy says, hi, Guy, and Happy New Year. Let me see. With that, show scheduled for you next week. This next week is going to be very, very awesome. Busy. I'm going to work for Lacey Denise on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Mountain Apple, you lived on Lanai until 1970. Wow. Hope you'll be here next Friday, 3 o'clock p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time, and we will bring you all of the news, entertainment news that we have. With the new year coming up, time to put 2021 away, put it in a box, close the lid, because all of us are shaking our heads going, oh, what a year. So it's kind of up to us, all of us, to make 2022 better. It's not enough just to say, oh, I hope it's going to be a good year. It really is up to us to help each other have a good year. That's what doing things in a kako realm means. So we wish that for all of you. Thank you, Raynette. Appreciate that. That's the Kona crew right there. Alcian, thank you. Keep those comments coming. We have two things that we're going to share with you here at the end of the show. Jessica is here. Hi, Jess. How are you? And then Debbie, did I see a picture of you also on Facebook? I think I might have. Okay. Final two things that we have during the show, and they'll kind of roll one right into the other. I'm not going to jump in. Hawaii News Now put together a wonderful piece on those, as we close the lid to 2021, that have left us to be with their kupuna during this last year. We'll play that, and we'll go into your performance video of the week. Comes from Henry Kapono. Ma lamopono aloha a hui ho. Enjoy. I'll see you next Friday. Aloha.
We're gonna score. We score. It's not a 1-point victory.
And that's, what we as players right now are trying to do is not only leave a mark right now, but leave a mark for years to come, so that, kids down the road can benefit from our success we've had.
We are not American. We will die as Hawaiians. We will never be Americans.
I see it too. I see the pause in there. I'm hoping the video will pick up.
Can or you can't, you're right. In other words, local style, no such thing, no can, okay? Always can. Any obstacle, hurdle, or barrier is just meant to go over, around, or through.
I'm going to go back because I don't want to miss anybody.
We are not American. We will die as Hawaiians. We will never be Americans.
But I miss you.
Henry Ford once said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. In other words, local style, no such thing, no can, okay? Always can. Any obstacle, hurdle, or barrier is just meant to go over, around, or through.
And the thing about him was he was just so unique. He was so original.
Good evening, I'm Bob Jones.
So he was a newsman through and through, always.
Because I like the old-fashioned thing of I'm putting out the paper or I'm putting out the newscast, and I'll put on it what I think you ought to know.
Good night, goodbye. Mahalo for choosing KGMB 9 News.
I could be Hawaiian, I could feel Hawaiian without having to be questioned about my Hawaiianness.
wanted to empower them. I wanted them to be more in touch with their ethnic and cultural heritage, and to understand the sacrifices that were made for them so that we'd have a better life.
Flows with the tide. It's just going nowhere. Just going for the ride. Cigarette will come and shot for good time. Sunset to fall into the night, and we'd rather be sailing away, and we'd rather be sailing away, and he'd rather be sailing away.
Don't forget, you've gone through the one.
Yeah. Cool.